Hello everybody, welcome to Ask JP today. Let's take the first question. It's from Vishal Korutla in Telangana. He's an IT professional. Yes, Vishal, please go ahead.
Hi, sir. My name is Vishal, working as an IT professional. My question is uh, even the governments are providing free education for the particular communities based on the reservation categories, and also few minimal examination fees also, or examination fee exemptions for few communities. So after they providing, what I feel is every individual have a minimum uh, facilities to educate themselves. So that is another point. So they're getting all the facilities to uh, gain the knowledge or study. So at the point of examination fees, still the governments are providing examination fee exemption or minimal examination fees. That is also fine because of the individual financial conditions, they may not be able to opt for apply for an exam. So that is also fine. But after providing all the facilities, why the government are still uh, give some seats? I mean, reservations for particular communities, dividing into different one. Like, so what I feel is only the after providing all the facilities, on the merit only should be appointed for any particular position.
Vishal's question is what bothers many people in the country. Because we are an enormously diverse country, if you ask a group of people who are beneficiaries of reservation system, they would say reservation should continue. If you ask another group, which is not a beneficiary, they would say reservation should go. So these are not problems that can be resolved through mere dialogue alone, because these are what are called zero-sum game issues. If somebody gains more, I gain less. If I gain more, you gain less. We must be very rational, thoughtful, and practical. The broader point of Vishal is right. Education is the key to prosperity and ending discrimination. Every child, irrespective of caste, region, religion, and nationality and race, is endowed with potential by Creator, by nature, by God, whatever you believe in. It is not that one caste or one race has more intelligence than other. Across groups, intelligence and ability and merit are spread equitably. But education is the tool that allows that intelligence, that skill, or that talent, or that merit to come to the fore. But the problem is, we simply don't have quality education. We are pretending. We have very symbolic things. Education is supposed to be free. There is a Right to Education Act. Education is supposed to be a fundamental right. But the reality is, there's no real education to the bulk of the people of this country. And therefore, you have degrees and certificates without the ability to be productive in society. And instead of governments focusing on improving the quality of education, enhancing the capacity of the people, and giving them an opportunity to be economically self-sufficient or to rise to their full potential, we are simply using reservation as a political tool for social mobilization. All parties across the board, instead of focusing on actually improving the human condition, are using these tools for political advancement. But if we pretend that access to schooling as it is today, or colleges today, is enough to end discrimination, then we are not being very true to the facts. The first order priority is how do we improve the quality of education? Umpteen number of times we discussed in Ask JP and other fora, Indian education is one of the worst in the world. In global rankings, out of 74 entities and countries, our school education at the age of 15, it was 73rd, second from bottom. Only Kyrgyzstan out of the list of those countries is worse than India in terms of real outcomes, meaningful outcomes in school education. When that is the truth, to believe that somehow because we're giving access to disadvantaged families to schools and giving them free education and no examination fee, etc., discrimination has ended or opportunities created, that's not true. So the challenge is, how do you create quality education available to everybody? Reservation is merely a palliative. It is merely a political tool to keep the society together for the time being. It is not really giving an opportunity to the deprived sections in a meaningful way. So the first order priority is quality school education available to every single child, irrespective of circumstances of birth and means. We are far from that reality. We can easily achieve that because there is tremendous demand for quality education in our country. We are doing a great disservice to our people across the castes, across religions, rich or poor, urban or rural, illiterate or literate. Every family wants to give good education to their children. The Indian state, Indian system has failed to impart quality education to most of the children, about 80 to 90% of the children across all castes. To me, the greatest priority in India in terms of long-term growth and better democracy is, how do you guarantee quality education to every single child, initially at the school level? Once school level, 10, 12 years of education is available, then higher education we'll see later. But school level, without worrying about the means, every child must get quality education. A lot of work needs to be done. The national education policy is on the right track, but making a good policy at the national level in a diverse federal country is not enough. We have to actually make it happen in reality, in each school, in respect of every single child. And college education, those who have the ability and the interest, the aptitude, must not be denied education irrespective of means. We must create means by which they all get the opportunity. You can create subsidies, tuition fee being waived, or bank loans, which are soft loans. 100 other mechanisms can be created. But once you really give education which is useful, which makes them productive members of society, then slowly we can think of what to do about reservations. But until that time, reservation is more a political tool to keep the society together rather than a genuine economic tool to empower communities and bring about equality. This happened largely because of our educational failure in the country. And this is not adequately realized. We think we are very good in education because we see a Sundar Pichai or a Satya Nadella or somebody else who is doing well in multinationals. We are forgetting that these are the products not of our education system, but despite our education system, a few people are flowering because of the parental situation, their own intelligence and hard work, the good teachers, and sheer luck. But the bulk of the children are getting very substandard education, which does not allow them to be meaningful players in a modern society, economically or socially. Until that time, we have to struggle with this problem. Meanwhile, we can do a few things. If a district magistrate's child, an IAS officer's child, a minister or MLA or MP's child gets reservation on the basis of caste, despite the parents achieving certain level of success or economic prosperity, then you are actually doing disservice to the genuinely poor and deserving kids in the disadvantaged families. You are creating a class of neo-Brahmins. Somebody who got an advantage of reservation is now guaranteeing that his children will get preferential treatment at the cost of the rest of the children in his own community. Some of these things must be addressed honestly. We are trying, but in a very perfunctory manner. Even today, the fruits of reservations are going substantially to the beneficiaries' children, the first generation beneficiaries' children. And the bulk of the truly poor kids from the deprived sections are not really getting the benefit of reservation. So let's not treat this as a fight between those with the reservation and those without reservation. Let's take this as a challenge to enhance human capacity in this country. Because improved quality education and access to it to every single child is vital for economic prosperity, vital for social equality, vital for citizenship. It's vital for nation building. Without that, there cannot be a modern nation state. Our greatest tragedy in this country is, despite our tall talk, constitutional aspirations, and a lot of resources devoted to education, our educational outcomes are appallingly bad. Address that, a lot of problems can be addressed.